Hello, and welcome back to the final episode of the Girls Who Game podcast, where we talk everything gamer girl. I'm your host Ebby. I'm a Twitch streamer and currently study esports at uni. So today's episode is going to be a little bit longer because we have a lot to get through. This episode is also going to have a slightly different format. Today we have 5 different questions to get through compared to the usual 2, and today we're going to be talking about how to tackle negativity within the game space and just some general advice for those who want to start streaming. Now, just a quick PSA, there will be no tea time segment in this episode as we have a lot to get through, but however, the Yap session will be on as per usual. So without further ado, our first question we asked our talent was, how are some ways you handle negative comments from people in your online space?
When it comes to negativity, I have definitely learned that it pretty much is just not worth my time. Like, I feel like I used to take things more personally and let it get to me and think like maybe I shouldn't do this. People will hate on you whether you're the nicest person in the world or an absolute rude piece of poop. Okay, so it doesn't matter as long as you're doing what you love.
One thing that's like really helped me is just understanding that if someone really has or wants to spend their precious time and attention foaming at the mouth thinking about how they're gonna ruin my day, then that is frankly quite embarrassing. Like, instead of really giving weight to those words has helped, but of course that's not something that's gonna help with every situation. Attention and time are like the most valuable things we have uh, in this world. That's why ads are so annoying, because they take up both. And if someone wants to spend their time and attention, trying to ruin someone's day, and specifically if they select me as the person they direct all that energy to, then, I can't be too mad. But then also talking to friends about it if it feels like too bad. But thankfully I have a very good support network and a lot of great friends, so I can also kind of process those feelings if I do end up feeling very uncomfortable.
Nice. It's really nice that you support that you mentioned a support group. Actually, I think you're one of the first people I think to mention that.
This sounds so bad when I say it right off the bat, but I view it more as clout. Kind of goes back to what I was saying earlier. Is like people will comment certain things, whatever, say certain things, but either I ignore it and let the algorithm do its job, or if it's written or said to me, like verbally, I'll turn it into a clip.
I'm not very good at dealing with them,
Mm-hmm.
but I I mean, the most you really can do is just ignore them. Sometimes I will just like straight up mute them or block them so I don't have to deal with it, because they're just not really worth my time. They're not worth the time and energy.
Well, when I started streaming, I was sharing information, and it's it was about 5 years ago, 4 years ago, and I was using a platform called ВКонтакте. It's like Twitter or Instagram or social, like Facebook, but in Russian language. And when I started to share my information there, there was a lot of comments like, oh, typical girl, just doing typical stuff, trying to get attention and everything. And I said like, oh, thank you for considering me, I don't know, like beautiful, because sometimes I said like, oh, this cute girl is trying to get attention because she's cute. I was saying like, oh, thank you for calling me cute. And I just tried to reverse comments, so I will get them as compliments, not as negative comments. Just to be kind with people who are hurt by a life, or who are, I don't know, ashamed of being themselves.
But so you don't ignore people, you don't like delete anything.
No, why? I mean, I don't. I know why people do this, but I myself find other ways how to handle them. Because if I just uh, try to answer with kindness, people just go away by themselves. They're scared of kindness because I don't know, aggression is their way to speak, and they're not used to kind people.
How did you enjoy our talent's answers? Anyways, our second question of today's episode. Do you have any rituals you do before, during, or after stream?
I guess I kind of have a routine, more or less. It's kind of messy, but I do the same general things. Like before I stream, I always make sure I try, not always, but I try to make sure all my stuff is good and set up. Like my game is working to show on the screen. All my overlays are set up properly. I have OBS good, mix it up, which is like very important for some of my channel points. And there have been times where I didn't have it set up, and then my chat is like angry because they can't review their stuff. And then other things, of course, like I try to eat before streaming because I do tend to do it for long periods of time, and it's good to have water and a snack by you because you're not going to want to keep getting up. So just to have everything near you is very, very important. And during stream, I guess I always keep the same like vibe, the same ritual for every stream. I have my starting Zoom screen so that people can come in, prepare, and I'll reply to them in the chat, be like, hey guys, and then we turn on everything, the camera, and we do just chatting. I try to do just chatting for at least like 20 to 30 minutes, but sometimes it goes on way longer than that because we're just catching up, we're having a good time. And then, get into the game, blah, blah, blah. And then during my end of stream or after stream, I try to raid out because I feel like raiding is very important. It's a great way to support other people and also make connections. And after stream, I'll raid into their chat, do my little message, say like, hey, how are you? And then from there, I kind of do a little raid and run, which I think a lot of people do because by after stream, you're tired, exhausted. So I, show my support, and then I go, if I'm hungry, eat, get ready for bed, whatever it is, depending on the time. And I feel that's pretty much like how my day goes every time I stream. It's like the same thing for the most part.
Yes, I do. In the before section, well, obviously there's always the testing things and all, and then usually it's always things that I intend to do before the stream, but usually I do it during the starting soon screen because I am awful at time management. But I tend to make myself a cup of tea. I used to do coffee, but then because I stream fairly late, or I start stream fairly late, I realized that it's better to have something non-caffeinated. So I'll have like rooibos tea or something, and I'll put on my jewelry because I've tried to get out of the habit of always wearing makeup when I'm streaming because I don't usually wear makeup in real life. But like having jewelry always makes me feel a little more put together and more like myself. And then during the stream, not so much. But yeah, after the stream, just I need to wind down. I usually tend to stay and lurk after raiding someone. Oh, raiding is one thing that I really like in Twitch. Forgot to mention earlier. One of the features that I really enjoy. But yeah, staying in chat, having just some water, a snack. It's usually like a bit before I need to go to bed, so just kind of winding down. And yeah, I really like to lurk in chat afterwards and do something with my hands, which is kind of actually what I'm currently doing. I'm making a necklace for my birthday party.
I don't even check my audios anymore. If it's messed up, it's messed up. I can't even lie. I literally don't remember the last time I actually have done anything other than obviously like clean up my room, get my plushie set up, turn on my lights. But that's like standard.
There's nothing that comes to mind really. I mean, usually after I stream, it's like I stream like pretty late in the day, so it usually ends up being like 9 or 10, so I usually just go straight and to lay down into bed after I stream, um,
That's a
which
pretty good
is
ritual.
yeah, but which is nice. Like I've spent so long, I spent like a couple hours, um, just like just talking and being, um, I guess, exposed on the internet, and it is nice to just lay down, be lazy, and just um, have some have time for myself
Mm-hmm.
before I go to bed, before I go to sleep. But I don't really think there's anything specific before stream, really.
Yes, I do have rituals before stream. I try to just do my makeup, get ready, like put on some dresses or some comfortable clothes depending on my mental state because sometimes I can't handle too much pressure on my body from clothing. So it depends. Uh, During streams, I actually try to drink a lot of water because um, when I get anxious, I forget to breathe and to drink water. So I drink water to breathe. And I as well have my cat around me, which I just grab and pet sometimes. It helps to, calm down. And after I just go take something to eat. If I rate someone and I sit on their stream, then I just grab something to eat, to snack. And after that, I go to shower and just spend like 30 minutes decompressing in the shower.
Cold shower or hot shower?
Uh, Bubble bath, mostly.
It seems there was a mix of answers there, but we will talk about that later. Our third question for this episode is: does it sometimes ever get too overwhelming? And how do you tackle this?
Oh yeah, I think the internet in general is incredibly overwhelming. Like whether you're creating content or not, there's so much stuff on there that it's like can be a lot for your brain and your mental health to deal with. This phone is like blowing up like crazy, which is like great. I'm grateful for it, but it's also I feel the pressure to have to reply to everyone. Like one morning I woke up, I think I spent like 2 hours just replying to people on Twitter, and I was like,
Oh my
oh
god.
my god. Yeah. I think it's very important to take breaks when you're being a content creator. That's what I'm trying to say.
Mm, yes, it definitely does. And this is something that came to me as a surprise, but I think this mostly has been the case after I started university. Um, Sometimes, yeah, I haven't had to do it often, but if I do get overwhelmed, like during a stream, I might just cut it short, or then, for example, currently, I had an issue of having a game that I was playing on stream that I think I would enjoy more off stream, but on stream it wasn't just I wasn't really feeling it, and then I was noticing that it was affecting how I was like being as an entertainer and a streamer, and then school stress. So I've taken, I think I have had a 3-week break from streaming for also just school. So I have a fairly low bar to for taking breaks because I think because at the end of the day, this is still a hobby for me, and also for the people watching and kind of consuming my content, they can tell if I'm not feeling it, and I'd rather, you know, take some time off, figure my stuff out, and then continue instead of really trying to force it for them because it's sad. At the end of the day, it's very easy to tell. But yeah, take some time for myself, do some self care, and so on and so forth, and then uh, because I'm still very active on like my Discord where most of my community hangs out. Um, I'm still usually very like available there, so thankfully I don't need to go fully, you know, off the grid.
Like for example, a couple weeks ago, I had a lot of stuff happen. It was like unfortunate event after unfortunate event, and mentally I could not do it. Because also during like, I worked a lot, I had finals, I had a lot of not stuff to catch up on, but I was trying to do extra credit so my grades could be like extra good. um, so it was like really stressful. I consider that overwhelming, and I'm really glad to have a community that understands, like, hey, Tamara isn't streaming, she'll probably stream tomorrow. Or like, I'm really let me not lie, I'm not the best at updating people, but people understand, like, if she's not live today, she'll be back tomorrow or
Hmm.
something. So definitely taking mental days off. I preach that to the choir. Like, if someone within your community doesn't understand that you are a human and not a robot, like what you said earlier, they don't belong in your community in the
Mm.
first place. They can go ahead and harass someone else. I hate to say that in like a rude way, but it's like you don't deserve to deal with that,
Yeah.
you know? But yeah, it's just taking a break, going out and treating myself. Um, I live downtown, which there's not too much stuff. So then I just drive maybe to like Panera or Culver's or maybe to Target, get myself a, I don't know, some snacks or something. Just a pat on the back to show that I'm doing my job and that I'm proud of myself.
I usually take a step back.
Yeah.
Like that is if I like just keep um just if I'm getting overwhelmed and things are getting difficult and I just keep like pushing myself through it, usually I end up just making a bigger mess. Um, um, and I mean, well, sometimes it's good to push yourself um, through it, but there's definitely a limit. Like when I do start to struggle, I try to like change things up, um, like stream a little less or just like stream something different, and like make a couple changes, try and push myself through it. But I'm not going to, I'm not going to just if it doesn't get better after that, I know I just need to take a step back
Mm.
and just take a break from everything. That's pretty much what I'm doing now. Just things. There's a lot going on, and I I don't really have the um, as strong as a desire to stream right now. So I'm going to take a step back and figure things out in my own time.
Sometimes have these like these days where I feel like I don't do things right. Because I don't see the desired reach or the desired results I want to, and then I start comparing myself to others, which are similar to my targeted like result. Um, and this makes me sad and like a bit frustrated. Um, but I always try to remember that everyone has its own path, and I can't compare myself to someone who's not me, because like I have my past, they have their past, right? Like it's a different character. You can't compare yourself to someone if it's not you. You can always compare yourself to yourself, like if you were better than yesterday. So this helps me, like this kind of mindset helps me to come back from just thinking. um, and another thing which helps me as well is to see what I've done already and what I've achieved, and to to openly speak about my feelings, because there's always either your friend or like your community who's there to lift you up and to remind you of those things you got already, or you created already. So it's always good to take a look, to step back and to see what happened with like the last 3 months, and uh, don't focus on like numbers. So numbers make me feel overwhelmed a bit. I don't like numbers.
Another thing is when I set myself goals. So Mondays, for example, I check my analytics from the socials, but also from the stream, from the previous week. Um, and I don't do it monthly. Like I do it monthly as well, but I don't do it monthly only because within a week there happens so much, and it's better to set yourself smaller goals than a big goal. Like for example, you can start with that you want to increase your follower by 25 instead of 50, and as soon as you reached it, you see what worked and what like didn't work, and didn't work, and then you can adapt it, and then maybe you can set your goal higher then. So another thing how I tackle this is to set my goals not too high. Also, like during period, I feel very sensitive, and things overwhelm me way faster than when I'm not on period. So
Mm-hmm.
it's like because of my hormones, I I see things different, and I think um a lot of women feel this way too when they're on period. Um, and some of them they push through. They still do, even though it's uncomfortable. I think your community, or you like someone who sees you, they see if you're comfortable with what you're doing right now, or what, or if not, you can't give 100% if you're in pain, right? And I think it's good just to pause it then.
Well, when it gets too overwhelming, then I just take a pause and try to like do some exercises for breathing, or just grab my I have a small table behind me, and there is a shelf with a lot of anti-stress toys. So sometimes I just grab my toy and just, I don't know, like play with it a little. It helps to just, get from all this overwhelming. I actually just try to think that tomorrow will be better, and I try to evaluate a little bit like what I think I did, uh, I don't know, worse than yesterday, or bad in general, like what I can do better, and try to just like evaluate on this. And as well, I use astrology sometimes. So if something didn't work for me in that day, and I just feel like I'm too overwhelmed to create something, to do something, I just turn to astrology, like ask some questions, get some informations, and try to understand, do I need to stop for a day or two and just take a pause and take time for myself, or I should just push a little bit more and try the same thing tomorrow.
Okay, so this next question was super interesting for me. Our fourth question is: are you a full time content creator, or would you ever consider going full time? And if not, what's stopping you?
So at the moment, I am a part-time content creator, and well, of course, I would love to be a full-time content creator, but the one thing stopping me is money, which I feel like is pretty relatable. Because streaming, yes, it's a great little side hustle, but unless you're really big or getting like subs all the time, it's really not great for supporting bills or whatever it is. And I do pay bills, so I have actually two jobs aside from content creation. I just picked up a second job just so I can save up money.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I still have to figure out my schedule for that, but um, in terms of that, that's really what's stopping me. Otherwise, I would 110% go full time because I love it. It's fun. Um, Not even for the money. I just enjoy doing it, but money is, a bonus. And like anything creative, I love doing it. So that kind of comes along with creating content, making designing things. I love doing that. So if I am blessed with it, I will take that step forwards. As of right now, I am working a normal job to ensure that I'm financially stable. And yeah, I think that's something that all of us can relate to because the world, this economy is almost impossible.
Ooh, I'm not a full-time content creator, so currently I stream every Monday. Could consider going full-time, but the thing is, my passion really lies in making games. So I could consider going full-time if I were to have the chance to use some of my like streaming time for game development, which I mean would be very cool. And that is something that some creators have done, but I do think that in my ideal world, I would have it be split between content creation and game development.
So I'm not a full-time content creator. Um, would I ever consider going full-time? No. And the reason that that is because the content creation industry can go like this, right?
Mhm.
And what I mean by that is you'll see the biggest of biggest content creators almost fall to the ground. Ninja is a great example,
Mhm.
right? Of course, Ninja is still relatively big to this day, but people have taken his spot. People would much rather watch Queso, Jinxie, such and such than Ninja. Ninja used to be in their spot, but he died down.
Mhm.
Also, content creation is not necessarily a pay per hour. Um, no matter how much money I'm getting from content creation, I could be getting $2 a day. I could be getting $20,000 a month. I'd still at least have a part time on the side because if that ever goes away, let's say my account gets banned, let's say something happens, let's say my agency falls off, I'd still have a source of income to rely on.
Mhm.
I never will ever put it in the hands of just content. Like for example, this year I'm working on building my sources of income. So like I'm making panels, I'm trying to get into like the creator fund portion of TikTok, or at least getting to 5,000 to where I can get free things, make videos of it, and then make money from the income of those free things.
Mhm.
YouTube is another great source of income. Twitch, I've been making, this is so weird. I've been making like good money off of Twitch to the point where it's helping me also fund my content creation. And then my job that I have right now is what's helping me like fund school and books and stuff. So,
It would be the dream job to be mostly just a streamer.
Mhm.
Um, I mentioned earlier that I don't enjoy doing like recorded content for like TikTok and YouTube. I don't enjoy editing. I don't enjoy recording or just anything like that. And I don't have the money to um, like pay an editor
Mm.
and that sort of thing. Um, so it's definitely something that I would like to do, but with like the current state of um, content creation as a whole and what is expected of you to succeed, um, it doesn't feel very feasible right now.
Okay.
Um, which which is sad. Um, I would love if I could just stream for fun, and like if I just keep going at it, eventually maybe something will come out of it. And obviously that can work, but it's very unlikely. There's so many people around you being like, you have to post a TikTok 4 times a day, or you will get nowhere, and it gets stressful. It gets stressful. Like I don't want to post a TikTok 4 times a day. I don't really want to post a TikTok at all. Really, I, it's just um, I I feel like been there's too much of a, I guess, meta in content creation now, where you have to, a lot of the time you have to follow this one path and do these certain things if you want a chance to grow and get yourself out there. Um, where I wish it could just be people can um, can choose whatever platform they enjoy, whatever they want to do.
So the reason why I'm full-time content creator. So I lost my job in November, and I was looking for other jobs, and I'm still looking for a part-time job. Um, but I just take this opportunity to put all my time I have and passion into full-time content creation. I don't make like enough money right now to to say that I'm a full-time content creator. But I have the privilege to do it, so I'll just take this chance and do it, and just just push through because I know that I can make it, because I'm, how's it called, like, is it dedicated? Like if I want to do something, then I'm pretty sure that I can achieve it, because there's always a way, and other people did it too, so I can do it as well. Plus the fact that I have like enough money saved to live for a good amount of time without having an actual job, which um yeah,
Mm-hmm.
so yeah, the reason why I want to do this is because I like this flexibility to work like for myself, to bring out my ideas and my creativity, and to kind of visualize my ideas. I have like, it's like I have a lot of ideas, and I want to share them. And I think a great way to do this is to be like a full-time, like a content creator for yourself, and just to do whatever you like.
So right now, I think I might consider myself a full-time content creator, but I don't get anything from it, but I can spend on content creation as much time as I want to. The only thing that's stopping me is, I think, my mental health, and sometimes it's money because I am unemployed.
Oh my gosh, guys, this is our last and final question of the Girls Who Game podcast. So I decided to just ask for any other advice for those who want to get started streaming, or for those of you who already are. These are still some great tips. Enjoy.
Or I think one of the most important things is to like ignore the haters, because as I mentioned, I feel like you get haters no matter what you do. Because there are people that are like do nothing wrong and people will still hate them. Like you'll get hated, be like you're too nice. That's wrong, Like it doesn't matter what you do. So as long as you're doing something that you love, and if that is streaming, I say go for it. Just have fun too. Have fun.
First of all, do it. This is what I tell to everyone who considers it. Try stuff out. Make friends. Just finding like a couple of good mods, or even just one. Very quick to ban people if they are not fitting the vibe of your channel, and also on that same vein, having very strict boundaries.
Make sure, this is gonna sound very specific, but just make sure if you're a face cam streamer, do not reveal anything about your location.
Yeah.
So like right now, I'm in a dorm. One of my walls is completely pain. And if you were to look directly outside of it, it shows a hospital. If I were to show that hospital, it could quite literally show y'all what room I'm in,
Mm-hmm.
if you're smart enough. Make sure to purposely tilt my camera to where it doesn't show anything.
If you want to play a game that maybe isn't um, as like popular on a platform, like just go for it.
Things you think are important are most of the time not as important as you think. For example, the way you look.
You need to try to focus on the positive things that are said to you and not be offended by fools who say nasty things, because these are just people who are offended by life. It's okay to ask for help other streamers, because most streamers or most people who are content creators, they will just they, they they want to share their knowledge, and they will be more than happy to share and to help small streamers as well.
If feel like anyone feels like they don't have the right equipment, also just YOLO and start, because you can always upgrade.
Don't worry about like, what equipment you have, and using like social media to find an initial community to start out in, and some like-minded creators. That's always valuable.
Definitely find other women within your genre that you play.
If you are trans, like, especially be yourself. You will find the right people.
Uh, you should always be yourself. Don't try to impersonate someone.
Welcome to the Yap segment, where I get to yap at the public, aka you guys. In today's episode, we talked about 4 main things: how our talent handle negativity, any rituals they may have, how they tackle overwhelm, if they aren't full time, would they consider it, and then of course we asked for some tips. Anyways, for the last time, let's get into it. So many of our talent actually said that they learned to ignore negativity, especially within the online space, and a lot of them had said the same kind of reasoning as to why they don't bother anymore, or like as a way to kind of like convince themselves that actually it shouldn't bother them. So the reasonings that we got out of our talent was, one, the insults got very monotonous, so then they realized that they were just sad with their life. So the people that were giving these insults out were just kind of sad with their own lives. 2, they really have nothing better to do except from being mean to other people. 3, these people are hurt with their life and so hurt others. 4, someone mentioned that it was quite embarrassing and pathetic that someone wants to use their own time and attention to hate someone that they've never met, especially over the internet. And I really wanted to add this quote in because Immi said this, and I was just like, oh my gosh, I was like mind blown. Our most valuable thing we own is attention and time, and if someone wants to offer that to them, then there's nothing you should be too bad about, because they're giving up their most valuable items to her just to spend it on negative energy. Even though most of our talent said that they learned to ignore negativity, few of our talents actually mentioned that they would actively do something against negativity. So Hori said that she tries turning the negativity into something positive and into her favour. For example, if they were saying, oh my gosh, this cute girl is trying to gain attention, she would say, thank you, I am cute, aren't I? Something like that, basically, and turn it into like basically seeing the positive in every negative. Now, Tamara says that she views it as clout, which, okay, I understand. You know, every big person or every person that's doing well will have people that hate. So viewing it as clout is a great way to help cope with the negativity. Then she also goes on to mention that she turns her negativity into more content. So she's using their negativity to help boost her, which is, I don't know about you, but that's a freaking power move. However, she still does recommend that if you can't handle the negativity, you just have to learn to ignore it. Especially on some platforms, you can't delete comments, and if you are trying to grow your brand, it could also hinder your growth. Nu also tries to explain to whoever the original person who sent her negativity, like the situation that, just to explain and educate them on what like the whole thing is, like how she feels, or how she feels about that negative comment, or like tries to understand like why they said that, if they're coming from a place of hurt, or they're just having a bad day. However, she does set the boundary between ignorance and intention. If anyone comes to her with a bad intention, she won't hesitate to remove them from her space, and she emphasizes making that a skill for people to harness and sharpen, and really like know that, oh, okay, this person may have just been ignorant about the fact that my day has been bad, or this person had the intention to hurt her, therefore out, banned. So moving on to the next question that we asked our talent. Not all of our talent mentioned that they specifically have a ritual before, during, or after stream. However, many do have a routine or just a set of things that they do during this time. So let's start with the people who said they do have rituals. Hori said that she likes to put on makeup and decides what to wear depending on her mental state. During stream, she said that she sometimes gets anxious and forgets to breathe, so she forces herself to drink water. This basically keeps her hydrated and also keeps her breathing. When you drink water, you get a bit out of breath, so you breathe, and that's a really cool technique if you need to just like force yourself to take a step back. It also kind of grounds her from her anxiety. Also, she of course keeps her emotional support cat around her while she's streaming, so she could just pet her cat at any point. After stream, she gets food to eat, and if she raids someone, she'll just chill and chat while eating. Then once she's done, she'll decompress in a lovely bubble bath for about 30 minutes. Now, Immi says that she likes to make tea before stream. She makes sure that everything's working, like their software. And they also mentioned that they don't like to wear makeup during stream because this is not something they do normally in day-to-day life. So she wants to keep that authenticity with her audience. So instead, she finds other ways to make themselves feel more put together. So in this case, they use jewelry. After stream, they raid someone, and while she's watching the raid, they like to wind down, which could be doing some arts and crafts. She mentioned like making a necklace, rehydrating, and then going to sleep. Now, Nu also makes tea before stream. Is this a European thing? Like, am I missing out on something here? She does her makeup and checks if her software is working okay, and that her room is providing the right ambience that she wants to convey to her audience during stream. She also likes to be in just chatting category on Twitch, and just likes to chat and debrief with her chat before actually starting to game. Then after stream, she likes to raid, while watching the streamer she raided, she likes to look over her analytics of her stream, just do some admin things and go through clips to make sure that they're all archived or if they're all appropriate to be on her stream. Then, depending on when she has finished stream, she will go get food to eat. Now, guys, what's so funny to me out of all of this is Tamara's answer. She says she just YOLOs her stream. GG go next, I guess. She doesn't really do anything. She just goes live and hopes for the best. So a common thing that I saw here is that all of our talent who face cam stream, which I believe is everyone but Tooz, mentioned cleaning up their room and making sure it's presentable. So basically they just like to make sure that they feel presentable and they feel comfortable in their own space, and making sure that they kind of show that through the camera. Now, next question was about our talent and being overwhelmed, and all of our talent said that they get overwhelmed. So here are some tips that they mention on how they tackle the feeling of overwhelm, and maybe these could help you guys too. So first of all, most of them said they take a step back from streaming if they have to. If you're not in a good position, your chat won't be too. They'll feel it, and they'll kind of they'll know that you're not feeling well, or so definitely look after yourself. I mean, it's your stream, so you have the autonomy to say, hey, I don't wanna do anything today. Another one, like I've just said, it's your stream. Feel free to cut it short if needed. You do not need to feel guilty about that. It once again, it is your stream. Another tip that we got was treat yourself. You deserve it. Sometimes you just need to have some sort of like positive, and sometimes that means that you go out and get some food, or you go out and buy that figurine that you wanted, or get some stickers, or get like a little colouring book in and do some activities, especially offline, which I think is very important. And then finally, try not to compare yourself with others. Instead, list a bunch of things that you liked that you did recently. Now, moving on to the last section, both Nu and Hori consider themselves full-time content creators, and that's not because of the money that they get, but by the amount of time and effort they put into content creation. Now, Nu said she's full-time because she likes the flexibility and being able to make her own rules about work. And another thing is that she likes the creativity. She likes to be creative, and having this kind of outlet, being a content creator just allows her to be creative, like as much as she wants to be, and she feels great about it, basically. Astra mentions that she herself is part-time. No other talents actually mentioned if they were part-time, but they definitely did mention if they were or weren't full-time content creators. I found what Tamara said about being full-time really interesting. She said that because the content creation industry is so volatile, which kind of means that like it can change at any moment, she wouldn't consider going full-time and would rather have some sort of plan B, or just have some sort of like assurance to fall back onto. And Tooz also said something along the lines of content creation not being stable or feasible, and specifically because they wanted to do streaming only, it would not be something that's stable financially, especially with the expectations is the word that they used for being a streamer. So with that being said, many of our talents mention financial stability is one of the things that's holding them back. Hori specifically mentioned that her mental health is also something that is holding her back from probably, even though she considers herself full-time. And just want to add this in, Immi was the only one who mentioned that this was just a hobby for them. They would prioritise being a game dev since that is their original passion, and although they wouldn't mind dedicating some time to streaming, they would definitely prioritise game development over anything else. Anyways, yap over, and that's that, guys. Thank you guys so much for joining me in this series. I hope you enjoyed the journey of getting to know our talents as much as I did, seeing what kind of challenges they face and how they tackle those challenges. It was so much fun. I hope this podcast opens up some questions for you guys to go find out, or at least answered some questions you may have had at the beginning. And you know, that's it for the Girls Who Games podcast. Thank you guys so much.